What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a full Pokemon Trainer Dawn team. Okay, this team was pretty interesting, had a good mix of Pokemon in it too, and it made it quite a challenge to use. Right, make sure you put your theme team suggestions in the comment section below. I actually picked this one as another mystery theme team pick, because I haven't really had any good battles with my other teams that I've been trying out, so yep, so if you do want to get picked and you've got an original idea, put it below. You may be picked for a mystery video. Okay, let's get this one going. So I did some more battles on my chat. If you do want to have a battle against me, check that out in the description. That's in there. Just click through PIMPNITE.com, PIMPNITEPokemon.com chat. Alright, so we have a Galvantula lead. I never saw that sticky web coming. So I'm going to go for the Yawn here and try and cause a swap on the Galvantula. Now, I went for a Toxie here because I presumed the Galvantula, it would swap, but it didn't. It stayed in and went for a Compound Eyes Thunder, and it takes me down to my Focus Sash here, which I didn't really expect it to attack. And I get paralyzed too, so, well, yeah, it was always going to happen. Right, anyway, so I set up the Stealth Rocks there, which is cool. Galvantula's asleep this turn, which is nice. So here I was like, well, maybe they're going to stay in again for some strange reason. I don't know. They're going to go first there, obviously. I went for Toxic because I thought they'd swap again, so I'm like, fuck! So anyway, I was like, bugger this. I'm just going to go for Hydro Pump this turn. They're obviously not going to swap, and it does some pretty nice damage to the Galvantula there. I think I ran this max. I ran it as max speed and max special attack with Modest. Okay, so Piplup beats Galvantula. That's probably the only time in your life you'll probably ever see that happen. So very interesting start to the battle there. Okay, it gets better though. Right, so Vileplume's going to come in here. I can't really do anything at all to this. I'm on my Focus Sash too, and I'm going to go down to a Sludge Bomb there since I'm paralyzed. Okay, so rip a Piplup, but you did awesome taking out Galvantula. Okay, so this is probably most definitely going to be a bulky Vileplume there. Now, I've got Quilava on a Choice Scarf here. Unfortunately, there's Sticky Web on the field, and I'm going to be a lot slower than usual. Still, I knew Vileplume would probably swap out here because of the type disadvantage. Now, there was this bulky Impoleon that was a thorn in my side for most of this battle. So, I went for Eruption anyway at full power, which is nice. Did some really good damage there to Impoleon. Doesn't quite do... Like after the leftover recovery, I knew it would be about a 3-hit KO, so I didn't really want to risk going for that because Quilava could be quite handy later on this battle. Okay, so I've got Pachirisu here. This is a max speed, max health Pachirisu. It's a real, just a real troll pain in the arse set for the opponent. Now, Impoleon's going to go for the Skull there. That does pretty good damage to me there. I've got lefties on this thing. I've got Nuzzle, I've got Sweet Kiss, I've got Attract, and I've got Super Fang. So this thing is just to spread as much just hacks as possible and piss the opponent off, basically. Okay, so Empoleon's going to swap out there. Probably is not interested in taking any sort of electric type move. Now, Dusclops comes in. So we had three quite stall Pokemon here with the Vileplume, Dusclops, and the Empoleon. Now, I went for Nuzzle here anyway. I've got the Nuzzle and Sweet Kiss combo. Okay, so this Dusclops is going to be like a really big pain because there was nothing really on my team that could take this out at all. Like, you can see what I'm using so far, so it's not much of a surprise. Okay, anyway, so I Sweet Kissed the Dusclops. Damn, his lips are looking a bit chafed, but I still kissed him. So I had the Parafusion basically going there. Now, since it was a female as well, and attracting isn't really going to work there, unfortunately. So I couldn't do my full troll set, but unfortunately, and I couldn't hit it with Super Fang, so I had to swap out. So that kind of sucked, but at least I got the Parafusion going. Okay, so into Buneary here, another solo Pokemon. So I had Switcheroo on this set with Choice Specs. I was like, okay, let's give this a Choice Spec so I can get rid of Everlight. Hits itself for Confusion, which is good, and it's only got about a 30% chance to attack. Okay, so I Switcheroo. I was like, this is really good because it stayed in, and Dusclops lowers any sort of choice item given to it, and I've got Everlight, which is going to help me out too, so that was really good. Somehow I get through that, and it uses Confuse Ray on me. Okay, so I was like, well, Dusclops isn't going to stay in this turn. Let's go for a Hyper Voice. That's my most powerful attack. Okay, it ended up staying in, so I was like, oh, okay, and Dusclops is going to go through the Confuse Ray and Parahax again and go for Confuse Ray itself, so maybe it thought I'd swap there. Okay, so this time it swaps. I went for the Shadow Ball. this time, and sorry, I thought Impoleon would come in. Glade is going to come in here, and I was like, oh, this is really good because that's going to be do some nice damage against Glade, and I hit myself Confusion. So I'm like, damn, that really sucks. Okay, so Glade's going to go for the knockoff here. Since I got the Everlight, I just hang on there, which is awesome. I can see there's Life Orb too here, so I get still confused, and I hit myself Confusion for the second time in a row. I'm like, damn. So that actually made a huge difference to this battle. You'll see why. That pretty much made a massive difference to the battle, me not being able to hit Glade there. Anyways, not giving too much away at this point. So I bring in Togekiss, probably the only decent Pokemon that I had on this team. Even then, it was like a massive gimmick. Now, I actually got a Togekiss sweep with this troll set that I used. If you want me to put that up, let me know in the comment section. I can easily put that one up. Okay, so I got a Serene Grace Ancient Power boost here. I have used this one before, but not for a very, very long time. So that was good. A nice little solid start there. So I was like, let's go for Air Slash. Let's cause this Dusclops some pain. Dusclops lives there just and gets the Will-O-Wisp off, which isn't too bad because at least I'm not prone to Toxic or anything. And I'm not running like I'm not running any physical sets or anything, so it's it's pretty good win-win for me there. Okay, so I'm going to go for the Ancient Power again, taking the Dusclops out, which is good. That was a pain in the ass. It was dead weight pretty much once it got rid of its Everlight, and I tricked it the Choice Spec. So Binary really shut that down nicely there. Okay, so I've got a +1 in basically everything, so it's all hype at the moment. Now Porygon-Z is going to come in here. I was like thinking, should I go for Air Slash or should I try my luck again? I was just thinking what to do. Okay, anyways, I get the download boost there from the Porygon-Z, which isn't too good. Sorry, I think it raised its attack, so it wasn't too good for the Porygon. And speaking of wasn't too good for the Porygon, it gets flinched by Air Slash, which is good. That has a pretty high chance with the Serene Grace too. Okay, so Porygon is actually going to swap out here. I was going to finish it off with the Ancient Power so I could try and get another boost there. Right, so Impoleon comes in here. This is the only thing that walls my Togekiss, unfortunately. This part I had to speed up because it was stally as hell. Okay, so most Togekiss obviously have Aura Sphere, so I could have dealt with this Impoleon like in one shot. But I was running, as I said, I was running a very gimmick set. Right, so I was running the Ancient Power set, right? I had Roost, I had Air Slash just for stab, and I had Stored Power as well. So if I got one Ancient Power boost, Stored Power would become like really strong really quickly. But obviously it was all based on luck, and I was walled by Steel types and such. Okay, so this Impoleon is a special defensive one there. I get another boost, which is really nice, but even then I wasn't doing like too much to this. I'd say it was definitely max health, max special defense maybe, or definitely max health at least there. Anyways, I didn't have any special attack EVs either. I was purely relying on Ancient Power boosting my stats. Okay, so Impoleon is going to keep using Scald there. I've got Roost, and I know I could win this matchup quite easy since I got the boost up. So I was like, okay, well, I could go for some Scumbag Air Slash flinches and try that. It was doing some nice damage there. I get a flinch there, which is good. Now, there was two sections of stall. There was this part and another part coming up. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do. I couldn't swap either. There was no point in me swapping out because I had two boosts and I had some really big threats to still take out. Then it uses Raw. I'm like, after all that time, I'm like, goody. So Pachirisu gets forced out here. So it's like, well, I should go for Nuzzle here because that'd be handy. And any other Pokemon coming in wouldn't like to get hit by Nuzzle. Okay, so Vileplume's going to come in here and get Nuzzle. I'm going to Nuzzle Vileplume. So I wanted to try out the Sweet Kiss combo on this too because I thought that'd be handy, and then I could maybe swap out into Quilava then, and then someone else would have to take an Eruption to the face and try and get back into the battle this way. Okay, or take the lead in this battle. So I think I actually missed here with a Sweet Kiss. Yeah, I did. I missed with a Sweet Kiss here. Vileplume gets past the paralysis and hits me with a Sludge Bomb. So that sucks. I was thinking I could go for Sweet Kiss again, and or I could go for the Super Fang, maybe then predicting a swap out there or something. I ended up going for the Super Fang here because I wanted to get some damage on Vileplume and hoping, I might get a Parahax, that could be possible. And once again, it gets through the paralysis and goes for the Sleep Powder and hits and puts me to sleep. So, I should have just used Sweet Kiss, but I thought it might miss again. So I was like, okay, well, at least I got some damage on it. So Pachirisu is pretty much, unfortunately, dead weight now, unless it wakes up like turn 1. I was like, well, let's swap out here and go into my Mamoswine. And yeah, this isn't a generic Mamoswine either. It's a special Mamoswine, so it definitely wasn't very good. It hit really, really lightly there, unfortunately. So I'm going to get a new Sludge Bomb that's coming my way. I nearly didn't go into it because of Giga Drain, but I thought I could take a Giga Drain badly anyway. So Vileplume is going to have to take a Ice move to the face. So here I went for the Ice Beam, which is quite funny. Glade comes in here, and if that was if it was a normal set, it wouldn't have taken an Ice Crash, but of course it was a special set, so it's not going to do very much, well, as much as I would have liked to Glade there, because it's got nice special defense. But I gave that one a Life Orb too. Okay, so Glade's going to use a generic Drain Punch there and take my Mamoswine out there. So yeah, there's not much I could do there, and it's going to get a lot of its health back there. Okay, anyways, so that also mattered there for those couple of hits on Bunnery, but it didn't. It also made a difference at the end of the battle too, but we'll get to that in a sec. So Togekiss is going to come out here. I was like, well, I can go for either an Ancient Power or an Air Slash again, because I thought, there'd be an obvious swap here. So here I went for the Ancient Power again. I sped this bit up too because it was very stalling. That crit did so much. Look at that damage. Anyways, I think I was pretty low on my Ancient Powers now. I used most of them. So here I decided, let's just go for the Air Slash and finish this thing off. Okay, so I got a flinch there. That was good. That was nice. But unfortunately, Leftovers was nearly healing back the amount of damage I was doing. Since Togekiss was running, I was running like a bulky Togekiss set. I get 2 flinches there, but like once again, he was just healing its health back with Leftovers, and I was just slowly losing health with Will-O-Wisp. Okay, so I really needed an Ancient Power boost there. I think I used my last Ancient Power there. Impoleon is going to go for the Scald there, and that does pretty good damage to me there. I think I ran this Togekiss as max health, and I think I ran it as split defenses, right? Okay, so anyway, here I went for the Roost because my health isn't looking too shabby. Well, after the heal it isn't. And that Scald's hitting pretty hard. It's about a 3-hit KO, so I need to take this thing out. So it was really annoying because here I could have gone Roost all day here. I thought, nah, I'm just going to go for the Air Slash because I don't really enjoy Stolly battles, so I just decided to start attacking there anyway, and I was quite certain that I could, I still had a Pokemon that could maybe win this for me. Okay, so Togekiss goes down there, and I avoid a big stall wall. So I'm going to send in my Quilava here. It's Choice Scarf, and I know this Impoleon is bulky, so I was confident that I could outspeed it. Here I'm going to go for the Eruption, and that's going to be Impoleon definitely down. So I know Vileplume can't come in there, and I know that Glade could come in if it had Shadow Sneak. I wasn't sure, or it would outspeed me anyway. So Porygon Z comes in here, it downloads, it gets an attack boost there. So I was thinking, well, I'm definitely going to get outsped by Porygon Z. I know that, so I'm going to swap in my Pachirisu here. Just basically tank the attack. As I've got Fire Blast on my Quilava too, so I needed to lock myself into that. That was the main point there. Okay, so it's going to go for the Dark Pulse here. Interesting. It didn't go for the. I thought it might go for Tri Attack. Maybe going for the Flinch. I mean, let's face it, there's a good chance of that happening. Right, so it's going to go for Dark Pulse again, and that's going to take my Pachirisu out, which sucks there. I was trying to get the Nuzzle off there. Okay, so down to my last Pokemon, which is my Quilava. I locked myself here into the Fire Blast. That Sticky Wave really hampered this my Quilava this battle. Okay, so it looks like it's Choice or something because I just hang on with 7 health. I get the Fire Blast off, it hits, which is really nice. So that's Porygon Z down. So I'm happy with that. I was like, sweet. I took out a lot of Pokemon with this team. I'm happy. So Vileplume I know can't come in. It's going to get absolutely annihilated. Now Glade comes in, takes a little bit of Stealth Rock damage. I outspeed here. I get the Fire Blast off. I was like, oh, hype. This is going to become really, really close. And it doesn't quite kill it. So as you can see, those early misses in the game did actually come and bite me in the ass at the end. Glade goes down to the Life Orb damage, and all that was left was Vileplume, so it could have gone either way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I was very happy with how this team went. Peace out.